Several bipartisan foreign relations bills. That's according to Axios. The senator is Brian Schatz. He's a Democrat from Hawaii, and he joins us now. Senator, we have seen some Democrats trying to demonstrate to the country, to Democratic voters, some pulse, some passion. Senator Cory Booker did his 25-hour record-breaking speech. Why do you think this method of putting up a hold on Trump's nominees and bipartisan legislation is a good way to get your message across?
Well, look, we've got limited leverage. They have a 53 to 47 majority, but that doesn't mean we have no leverage. And so where I have some authority here is I can not grant them unanimous consent. At the end of every evening, they try to pass a bunch of bills and nominations kind of in a arcane language wrap-up script, and I'm just objecting to that. If they want any of these nominees or these bills to receive a vote, they have to schedule the vote. But this will slow them down, and this is designed to lay down a marker both about the lawlessness of the Trump administration, but also about the fact that Donald Trump himself is destroying the American economy on purpose. And so, look, Cory did an extraordinary thing. I think people all across the country are doing extraordinary things. I'm trying to do whatever I can. And my message to everybody is we need to get a little less fussy about the particulars of the tactics. And whatever is available to you to try to resist this creeping autocracy and the destroying of the American economy, everybody should do everything that's available to them.
So Axios reports that among the legislation you're blocking is one that, quote, seeks to counter activities by the terrorist group Hezbollah in Latin America, and another condemning China's assault on Hong Kong's democracy. Those seem pretty important. Why block them?
Yeah, I mean, look, part of what it means to do a hold is that sometimes you're going to block things that you would otherwise allow to happen. And that's the case for these. I voted for both of those pieces of legislation in committee, but we have to generate some leverage. And so until Secretary Rubio comes to the committee and testifies about what they're doing in terms of illegally eviscerating United States aid, I'm not going to allow even those bipartisan bills to move forward. It's not that I will never let them go forward, but where we have some leverage to gum up the works, we got to use it to make sure that, especially in the Senate, they do need both parties to make progress, and we have to be willing to stand up to these folks and gum up the works, even if it's politically uncomfortable to block a bill that you would otherwise be for.
So last time I remember gumming up the works such as this was by Republican Senator Tommy Tuberville. He was putting holds on military promotions. This is what you said in July 2023 about that. Take a listen.
Every senator has enormous power. I could probably block the defense bill this week if I wanted to, but I won't. You know why? Because I'm not a maniac. Because I understand that when you vest someone through your voters with this kind of power, you have to be very careful how you exercise it.
Are you no longer being careful with how you're exercising the power?
No, there's a pretty important distinction between what Senator Tuberville did and what I'm doing. These are political appointees, which are usually subject to a Senate vote. And so what I'm doing is slowing them down. What Senator Tuberville did was prevent a one-star admiral from being a two-star admiral. These are career Department of Defense flag and general officers that were blocked. That is not the same as what I'm doing.